morning. Welcome to the Daring to Differ podcast. I am your host, Anaki. I'm happy to be back again with another episode. It's just it's just a few minutes to 7, and I thought I should rather chip in with this episode before I go to work. And so I just want to share with you guys the things I did in my 20s, and they brought me where I am today. And I want, if you're watching or you're listening, you can take a few advice from me, of course, but you don't need to duplicate. So number one being living in a bubble. Number one, I would say, is living in a bubble. I lived in my bubble, meaning my eyes were not on what my peers are doing or what other people are doing, but rather I leaned inward, and I focused on the things that I want Anaki to do, and I did not. I wasn't influenced by my peers, but in this context, I mean things like lifestyle. I lived in a bubble. My lifestyle was like, I didn't prioritize getting the nice things, although at some point I was working at some point, but I just felt like my money should not go to some of those avenues, you understand? My money should not be invested in lifestyle, into this. In terms of lifestyle, I just felt like my money should not be invested in things like clothing, where I need to chase the next fashion, the next brand, the next trending thing. I never focused on that. I did not invest my money in wigs. The wigs that you are seeing me wearing now, these are things I got like in my 30s at a level when I can afford them and I have additional disposable income. So in my 20s, I never prioritized lifestyle items like fashion, getting the latest gadgets, going to the most expensive holidays while I know I cannot afford them. So I had additional money. So I had disposable income that could be invested in long-time avenues that will propel me where I am today. For instance, most of my money, apart from supporting my family, if you've watched this or if you're a regular on this podcast, I did share at least why I needed to get my family out of poverty. So some of my money went in that avenue of getting my family out of poverty, but most of the money, I would want to say, it went into personal development. By this, I prioritized getting certifications in project management, and these certifications cost a lot of money, but I rather opted to invest in those certifications because I needed to create a niche for myself that will put me out of the masses, or that will set me aside, right, from my peers. Meaning, if employers are looking if employers are looking for professionals in the discipline of project management, I wanted my name to pop up, and I also just wanted to learn the skills of project management and the knowledge thereof. And I did get my certifications, and boy, as soon as I got those certifications have helped me to even be headhunted by organizations. Specifically, I'm referring to the project management professional, which is called the PMP, and also the Prince 2 practitioner certification, as well as the Prince 2 foundation certification. So I invested my money rather in those certifications. I did not choose lifestyle. And I also then invested some money into, postgraduate studies. And I'm just happy that I chose to do that, because being in a country where there is skyrocketing unemployment rate is so difficult to get a job. And if there's something that you want to do, is to get skills that are in demand. You need to have skills that not everybody has, and therefore employers will look for you. Even for when you submit your CV, even when you apply, right, your CV will stand out because you have a rare skill. You have rare knowledge that not everybody has. And I think for me also, I was able to know or understand the type of person that I am from a very young age. I knew that I'm a planner. I knew that I like organizing. I knew that I like putting pieces together so that we can bring a dream to reality. And project management was the right discipline I could choose, right? And I had then the time to research in terms of how I should tailor my career, because I had all the time. Towards the end of my 20s, I also then deactivated social media platforms. I moved away from Facebook. I moved away from Instagram. I only remained with LinkedIn because that was for professional reasons, because I had created a project management brand for myself, and I would post a lot about project management just to create awareness and also just to be relevant at the time for when employers are seeking for project management professionals. So I kept LinkedIn. But Facebook, Instagram, I deactivated them because I needed to be in a bubble where I am focusing on my personal development. So me not being on the socials, I had adequate time to read. I bought books, guys. Most of my money also went into buying books, a lot of self-development books, because I come from poverty. And I don't come from a family where I can emulate in terms of career or self-development. I can emulate from maybe doctors or engineers or artists, whatever careers. I could not emulate these examples from the folks or from the people in my family. So I needed, or even just in my community, I needed to leverage, right? I needed to learn or to copy. Yes, this is the right word. Guys, if you are copying, learn to copy the things that will leverage you, that will accelerate your progression. And for me, I leveraged from people who have taken time to write their stories and document them into books, or those that are teaching us through books. So I had ample time to read, and I read books. And with every book, I was able to build a block, be it in my area of career, be it my spirituality or spiritual journey, be it just becoming a better person, my finances. And hence, I think I was so obsessed with self-development. And I kid you not, I did improve my life. I did move from being a girl who came from a small town, moved into a city, and I was able to develop myself, because I feel like for when we're able to become the people that we want to be, we need to cut out the noise. And that's what I did. In my 20s, I cut out the noise. Coming to relationships, I was lucky that I found the love of my life just when I was 22 years. So relationship-wise, I did not have stress because I had a partner who is, one, sharing the same values as mine, two, coming from this similar background, so we could gel, we could understand where we want to be in life. So things like not being happy because I went through this one heartbreak and a second heartbreak, I was privileged enough not to go through that, because I feel like sometimes relationships really take away from us. And if there's something that you want to do, you want to minimize you want to minimize the risk of being in one relationship to another relationship, because it will take away from your happiness. And if you're not happy, you won't be able to create, you won't be able to develop yourself. So at least for me, that part was taken care of. I still, that's my husband as we speak. So I just didn't have that room, at least to dwell on heartbreaks, etc. And if there's something that my husband or my partner, then what we also prioritized was not having babies or children early. So in my 20s, or in our 20s, we had time to educate ourselves, we had time to develop ourselves, we had time to navigate career. I had all the time to develop myself, to try out new things, to test, to fail. So if you are in your 20s, I want you to take away these two aspects. One, relationship wise, try to invest time in relationships that are working, because you also don't want to empty your cup. And if your relationship is not working, it's not something that you need to invest in, because it's gonna take away from you, and time flies very quick, right? Number two, avoid getting babies while you are just in your early 20s, because in your 20s, for me, I believe that is your playground, is a time to test, to trial. And if you have kids, you might slow down a little bit. Of course, you'll be able to balance, but I don't know how. I'm in my 30s with two kids, and balancing for me is so hard. I can just imagine, had we gotten our children just when I was 24, 25, I can just imagine how hard it was going to be. And I don't think I was going to get the results I've gotten now. Of course, I am not bashing anybody. It is normal to get your children or your babies in your 20s and still get the results that you want to have in your life. But I just feel like it's harder, right? It will be hard. And if you have the opportunity to weigh what to do, for me, I wouldn't. And I'm still happy that we chose those decisions, because I just feel like it did help us at least go for the things that we wanted to go for, or go for the dreams that we wanted to achieve. And also just understanding the context where we come from. Having babies or having children at that age, while we are still taking care of our siblings and our families where we come from, I think it was just going to be hard to balance. So yeah, so that's the most important thing, decisions I would say we've made, right? And the last one before I chip out to go to work. Remember, it's just 7:15 now. So, and the last one I would say I'm also proud of myself is I've had the time to dare, right? I've had the time in my career to dare for opportunities, especially those that are related to career, right? I did not follow the normal system of I need to wait for a job advertisement to be opened and then I complete and need for me to be called etc. In my 20s, I created systems for myself. I altered the system. I knocked on people's doors to get those internships. I knocked on people's doors also, and I knocked on people's doors to be given a job opportunity. I emailed people directly. So I was playing the game full house, the game of me reaching out directly to employers for opportunities. And after I got my certifications and I graduated, employers then also reached out to me. That was the two-way stream that I was playing in my 20s. And I got the opportunities because I was daring, because I was courageous. I had nothing to lose. I had no shame. And I was so focused. And I think if you're unemployed, this is a trick that you can try. Sometimes just dare yourself, throw yourself in the pool, and you'll never know. You might just catch that fish. You might just get that opportunity, because we have very few people who are daring. So for when you show up at an employer and you tell them that this is the value that I can contribute to your organization and these are the skills that I have, chances are they'll ask for your CV and they'll keep it, and they might just reach out to you, or they might just employ you at the spot. Because most of the opportunities which I've gotten in my 20s, we've just had like a chat. That's the interview. So what do you do? Da, 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 da. What are your skills? Da, 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 da. Can you start by end of this month or beginning of the following month? I'm hired. Or, so you want to dare yourself. And I think for me, that is the best things that I've done in my 20s. Of course, then in my 30s, till today, I am not on Facebook because I want to have the time. I want to have the time to read. I want to have the time to bond with my family. I want to have the time to do the things that will contribute to my development. Therefore, I don't want to be in a bubble with everybody. You understand? I don't want to be in a place where there's so much noise that I'll lose my focus, I'll lose my identity, I will lose my roadmap. Because sometimes when you're on these socials, this person is talking about this, there's this trending, there's this happening, and you want to try out, and sometimes for when you don't successfully accomplish whatever that you have seen and you try it out yourself and you don't get it right, it sort of empties your cup. You now feel inadequate because if this person could do it, why are you not able to do it? For me, I chose rather to be in a bubble because I want to focus on my roadmap. And for when I need inspiration, when I need motivation whatsoever, I know the channels or the mediums that I should I should read about, I should listen, I should watch, but when the need arises. So you want to limit as much noise as possible because we live in a social media world, and a lot of things I feel like, or a lot of content that we consume, I just feel like there's no authenticity in it. You want also to be in charge. Like for me, I am in charge in terms of what I want to watch. I consume a lot of YouTube content, I kid you not, but I intentionally choose the people that I want to follow. I intentionally choose the podcasts that I want to listen to. I intentionally choose the books that I want to read. And so you want to make sure that when you are in your 20s, you are utilizing your time to the max, and you are utilizing your energy while you can, because if you reach your 30s, for me, I just feel like 30s are very busy, and also you want to have made as many trials as possible in your career, and I'll have in my next episode I will have a discussion with you guys on career, but yeah, you want to have basically as many trials as possible in your career, so that you build that skill set, and you build also your knowledge, or enhance your knowledge thereof. So those were just my 2 cents. I am chipping out. This is Anarchy, and I am your host of Daring to Differ. I'll see you in the next episode. Please ask you to like this video and subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. Thank you.